Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Jayson Roach on the line, and he's owner and director over at Ripplify Media. Jayson, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Happy to be aboard.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Ripplify Media and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I got started, I have a lot of a church background, and through years of working at church and being a part of ministry and helping people to grow in their relationship with Christ, and then just to, step up as people and learn new things. I eventually found myself in a job that I loved where I was producing videos for the church. Then after producing videos for a while, one day somebody called the church and said, hey, can the video guy do weddings? And I was like, sure. So I started doing weddings for a while, and I absolutely loved it. And then that led into eventually a friend of mine from the church who owned a business said, hey, I know you shoot weddings. Do you shoot commercials? So I did not shoot commercials at the time, but I went ahead and I spent some time researching and figuring out how to really help people. And, I was just really touched by the way the video that I produced for him, helped the business and helped his family.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I love to hear, these organic grassroots. You're like, well, I didn't do this, and then I figured it out, and then I do it. And I love it. It makes a lot of sense. And
yeah,
as
shoot
you can
first,
see,
aim second.
And then the value that you bring to the business and what you're able to accomplish, I mean, it's just awesome. So that being said, there's some younger entrepreneurs out there or would-be entrepreneurs that are thinking about going in that direction, and maybe they haven't quite crossed the line like you have to starting a business. What kind of advice would you give that newbie that's out there just kind of getting started?
Yeah, anyone who's just getting started, whether it's in video or whether it's in another business, what I would always encourage you to do is two things. Figure out the thing that you really, really love to do, and then figure out how to be really, really good at that thing. But at the same time, don't focus just on becoming the master of that, because I don't think you have to become the master to really be able to help people. And then the second thing would be to find a tribe, find a group of people who are also interested in that thing. A lot of times there's Facebook groups for it, there's communities, there's courses you can take, but find people who are doing the things that you really love to do and are doing them really well, and then learn from those people. Allow the people to be your inner circle, your people that you take advice from and people you ask questions.
No, that's great. Great advice. Let's switch it up a bit. I want to get into what you're doing over at Ripplify Media. So you hinted at it. We know it has to do with video. Let's go a little bit further. Tell us more about the business and the kind of services you offer.
Yeah, so what I've been doing from day one when I opened up Ripplify Media is helping people with video. I think there are three core problems that every business faces, and if you solve those problems, then they'll achieve success. I believe that they'll be able to live out their passions and do the things they really care about. And I believe those three things are all related to increasing your sales, saving your time, and then building your relationships. Obviously, if you increase your sales, then you're going to do a lot better. If you save time, it allows you to spend time with your family, doing your passions. And ultimately, building relationships is the key to any business. I believe that any really good business owner started their business because they want to help people. And I started my business because I want to help people using video. So the kind of core services that we offer are videos that help people solve those problems of saving time, building relationships, and increasing sales. So sometimes that looks like something that's like a training video, which is more of like a, helping someone save time. If you normally spend a lot of time training your workers on how to do sales, on how to follow certain processes, then that's like, it's not a Canadian there for a second, processes. Then if you create a video duplicating yourself, you don't have to do that anymore. Or an industry where, people are always calling in and they have a tons of questions to ask you before they buy. If you can answer those questions on video, then you save a ton of time.
I love it, and it's true. I mean, when we think about, and the other part about that is that they don't necessarily when you say save time, you're not just saving your time. Just to be clear, you're saving the client, potential client, prospect, whatever you want to say. You're saving their time more importantly, because I know if I can watch a video and understand what a company's doing and somebody else doing, I'm much more likely to purchase than if I have to figure it out, and then I have to call, then we have to go back and forth. It's like, show me a good 2-minute video. Just show me. I'll buy. Like, I just need to get this problem solved. I don't really want to do all these other things. I'm just looking to get the problem solved. So that's why I think video is so effective, and what you're doing is so effective. What kind of companies do you like to work with? Any specific niches, or what's your kind of your thing?
Yeah, honestly, and it might sound a little corny to say this, but the specific niche that I love to work with, one is like, people that are a little bit higher ticket, people who, either their customer base, every individual is spending a good amount of money whenever they're coming in, or somebody who's already got a pretty large company that's growing, just because of the type of work that I do. But the really important thing for me is it's got to be someone who's not in it just for the money. Because if you start a business and your only goal was to be as wildly profitable, as possible, that's not that it's a bad thing to aspire to, but it's not something that I can really attach my heart to. Like, I am so on fire about helping people. So if I find a personal trainer, for instance, who just wants to become the top personal trainer, make a lot of money, I'm not really tied to it. But if I'm working with a personal trainer who loves to see people grow and loves to see people grow in their confidence and grow in their health and grow in their habits, like, that's somebody that I want to, like, I believe that video is the most powerful business tool in the world. So if I'm going to give it to somebody and help somebody to be able to utilize it, I want it to be somebody who's really a world changer, somebody who's making a difference in people's lives.
What do you find are some of the, and I know this is going to change from company to company and obviously business to business, but what do you find are some of the things that people do wrong when trying to communicate through video?
Yeah, honestly, the simplest thing is just being afraid to appear on camera to begin with. Like, Gary Vaynerchuk, who I'm assuming all of your listeners probably know who that is, he talks so much on creating tons and tons and tons of content, especially with now LinkedIn, going into 2020 being so prevalent with video or any kind of content, just the fear of appearing on camera or the fear of not knowing what to say. But I think what I would tell somebody, like, if you are not sure what to say inside of a video, I don't know if you can hear, I got somebody doing weed whacking outside. If you're not sure what to say on camera, then just think of pain points. Think of things that your customers are currently dealing with, things that are holding them back, or things that you feel like if they knew, it would empower them, and just educate on those things. Like, I believe if you're an educator on a subject, you become the authority on that subject. And whoever's the authority on the subject is the person that everyone flock to whenever they need that product or they need that service.
That's awesome. So, Jayson, if somebody's listening to this and they do want to follow up to learn more about Ripplify Media, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, the simplest one would be to go to either my Facebook page or my LinkedIn page. Those are the two that I'm most prevalent on. Just search Ripplify Media, or you can go to ripplifymedia.com. On my website, I've got a 2-minute video that explains everything that I do and why I do it. It's called the Video Business Card. I make it for a lot of my clients. And then there's a form right beneath that you can fill out if you're interested in actually hiring me or doing some consulting, or you just have doing general questions.
That's awesome. And I was going to say, you better have an explainer video. You're selling them. No, I know.
That's right.
That's awesome. So, Jayson, hey, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all of the great work you're doing over at Ripplify Media. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Jayson, thanks again for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for the invite. I loved it.
All right, so I'll cut the audio there. Man, great interview. That's good.
Oh, thank you, man. That
it was
fun.
good. I love what you're doing. I love the transition. I love how you grew it and what you're doing now. It's cool. And those video business cards are so key. I mean, the people that do them, I've seen them before, and they're just so effective. And they're so simple, and it's like, why don't more people do them? But that's what you're going to help them do. I love it. So quick side note. So I'm going to shoot the audio over to my team, and they'll do all the editing and all that good stuff. And in my opinion, this will probably be up pretty quick. So this will be up by later this week or early next week at the latest. When it does go live, you're going to get an email from my assistant. His name is Julius. Look out for that. That's an important one. It'll have, I don't know, like 8 to 10 links on it. It'll have your iTunes, your Spotify links. It'll have a full YouTube video, Instagram video, Facebook video, LinkedIn video, more videos and social media content than you knew you wanted or cared about. It's on its way, so feel free to do what you like with that. But other than that, thanks again for coming to the show, Jayson. Appreciate it. It's been a good time.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I actually had one quick question. and I want to know if I had permission or not to do this. But I went ahead because I figured while we were doing the podcast, it also anything that I was saying is potential, content for me to post.
Yeah.
So I had a camera that was recording me while we were doing the podcast.
Oh yeah, do whatever you want.
If I were to strip audio and post that to my LinkedIn,
you could do as much as you want or whatever you want. All good there. The whole point of this is my whole goal in this, just so you know, is I provide a platform to really get to for other business owners. I have a certain, let's say, talent or knack for media, and the more I look at it, I'm like, man, I just want to get the stories of these business owners out there. So now we're at, this last year I think we did 1,000, a little over 1,000 interviews. This year we'll probably do 2,000.
Wow.
And it did the audience, everything, it just keeps growing, and it's just been a lot of fun to hear stories and connect with business owners all over the country and world. So really cool stuff. So yeah, use as you like. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I look forward to seeing it.
Absolutely. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. You too, Adam. Bye.